Okay. Yo, how you doing, Labency? I wanted to get this out real fast because this is gonna be kind of a little bit longer. 12:30. We're gonna be leaving at 3, so we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. This is something I was gonna make a couple of series on, but it's gonna take far too long to get through it all in a video. We're gonna edit the title real. Hey, yo, I appreciate you guys for dropping by. This is going to be a little bit longer of a live stream, and it's going to be talking about some of the basics of Madden. I was going to do some videos on this, but, well, yeah, it takes way too long, I have found, to do that. We're going to be talking about adjustments and a little bit more about the pro level of adjustments and why it is important. So we're just going to go over here. I don't even care about the offense. We're changing the title. One sec. You know, it's interesting talking about. I don't know. DDA is an interesting topic because you can sometimes tell or feel like something's really, really weird in that game. Like, one game, I think this was just yesterday. I was playing some guy and he was just chucking it up into triple coverage ag. He was just agging my life away, just agging my soul. I'm like, whatever, we just gotta play through it. I'll leave the sports to your side of the football goes ahead. I played in high school and I'm here because I appreciate that. I'll be honest, I actually never played football in real life. I haven't, okay? But I've learned quite a bit from my dad watching football games and then playing Madden. You'd actually be very surprised how much you can learn about football when playing Madden, aside from all the BS fluke stuff that happens. But enough talk. Now we can keep chatting. But I want to get into what I wanted to talk about today, and that's about disguising your defense and why it's important to do so. Now, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna try to read chat, and that's kind of why I don't have my face cam turned on because I have to look a completely different direction where chat is right now. But if you have anything related to disguising coverage or playing coverage, please feel free to ask. Okay, that's why we're here to teach you. We're going to start with the basics, and I'm never going to address this ever again. If I get asked about quick adjustments, I'm just going to refer you to this long live stream. So bear with that. We're going to just go out a 4-3 normal. I don't even care about the offense, okay? We're going to go ahead and make sure we don't get the ball snapped on us. Real simple, guys. Practice, practice, practice. What is football? So, quick adjustments. These are critical, and this is extremely important. I've been posting a lot of blitzes, and we'll be talking a lot about defense. Is lower than the that you said. Right? Okay. Well, unfortunately, my we'll see if the internet can kind of doubt it, but we'll see. So I keep, right. We'll just bump it up. But anyways, quick adjustments are critical when you guys are watching all these blitzing videos, okay? Anytime you're seeing all these blitzes and you're wondering how I'm doing all these quick adjustments, this live stream is going to be talking about it in as much detail with the limited amount of time that I have. I don't want to make a video on this because it takes way too freaking long to get through all this crap. So, quick adjustments. Double tap Y or triangle, that's all your secondary, okay? That's for nickel, dime, quarter, 4-3, 3-4, you name it. Any secondary, which is your cornerbacks and your safeties, are going to be changed with a simple quick adjustment of double tapping Y. Okay, so if we go ahead and double tap Y, X, your outside corners, depending on the package. Sometimes packages change that, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. Your outside corners can always be dropped into deep halves, outside quarters, thirds, cloud flats, soft squats, hard flats, blitz, and then man coverage. And we'll be talking about man coverage in a lot more detail as well later on into this video. Again, this is kind of basic stuff. I know this is going to be some boring for some of my viewers because I know some of you guys are a little more advanced in the game of John Madden football. Oh, I got to make sure that I'm not missing out like a Xbox sale or something like that. I'm trying to get one right now, but simple, okay? Your middle safeties, that's just baseline real fast, and we'll talk about that later on as well. Your middle safeties can be put into inside quarters, middle thirds, hook curls, mid reads, or not mid reads, excuse me, though they can be put into mid reads, okay? We'll talk about that later on. Deep halves, spy, curl flat, you guys can see everything that they do. So double tap YY, and then your two middle safeties, your safeties are Y and A. Your outside corners are generally, let me be clear about this, generally X and B, but not always. Sometimes it changes up on you, so pay attention to that. I couldn't tell you what button it's going to be every single time because sometimes offensive formations will change the corresponding buttons, and that's kind of what you're going to have to pay attention to as you're in game. If the button's different, the button's different. I couldn't tell you if it's going to be the same as it is now or in a different game. So anyways, safeties, inside quarter, you can see everything that you can do right there if you look in the bottom left of the screen. All your quick adjustments for your safeties, okay? Linebackers is double tap right on the D-pad, X, Y, and A. Again, those buttons will be different sometimes, so kind of just pay attention when you're in game. Outside linebacker and middle linebackers are different. Okay, important note with that. This is an outside linebacker. This is currently X. So if you double tap right on the D-pad, X, these are all the quick adjustments you could put any outside linebacker in. Obviously, if it's a right outside linebacker or left outside linebacker, the flats are going to be on opposite sides, right? Because that's how it is. You got seam flat, hard flat, curl flat, vert hook, man him up, spy, bluff blitz, blitz. And we'll talk about bluff blitz in a lot more detail as well later on into this stream. Your middle linebacker, he can be put into middle third, hook curl, curl flat, mid read, man, spy, hard flat, and blitz. Everybody on the field, this is a standard thing right now. Everybody on the field can be put into a blitz. Obviously, there's some people that you don't want to just send on a blitz, especially if you baseline, and that's your safeties, because it takes so long to get there, okay? That should be kind of obvious with that. Next is your D line. So if you double tap left on the D-pad, you've got your quick adjustments popped up for your defensive line, X, Y, A, and B. Now, this is a 4-3 set. 3-4 is different, obviously, because it's 3-4 through down linemen versus 4 down linemen. Your defensive ends are different from your defensive tackles. Again, kind of like your middle linebacker versus your outside linebacker. X and B both have the same adjustments. Y and A both have the same adjustments. And a lot of this stuff's going to come with practice, so be sure you are practicing this. Quick adjustments do not just come overnight. I have been using quick adjustments since Madden 16, and they are so much easier when you can actually get it down quick. So X and B, okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit X. Seam flat, hard flat, curl flat, vert hook, man coverage, bluff blitz, blitz, QB spy. Essentially the same exact thing as your outside linebackers. Okay, now we go ahead and double tap D-pad again on the left. B, same thing. Double tap left on the D-pad, Y and A. You guys can see we can put my hook curl left, right, vert hook left and right, man, QB spy, bluff blitz, blitz. Show you guys a bluff blitz real fast. He gets dropped into a 3-rec hook. And there's another way you can get a 3-rec hook. Again, we'll be talking about that later on. So, a little bit about basics of quick adjustment. Okay, I know we're trying to just blaze through it, but a lot of this stuff is kind of beginner stuff, so feel free to go back and check this out after the live stream is done. And again, feel free to ask any questions that you may have about zone coverage in general, and I'll do my best to answer them, okay? I'm not like a super genius. I'm no freaking Skimbo or Kiv, but I kind of know some things about the game. So now we've graduated from elementary, all right? We've got away from the kid stuff, the simple stuff. Again, all of this comes down with practice. Like, I can go ahead and just change this into a cover 2 fairly quickly. Again, with quick adjustments, you can change this from a cover 2, and then I'm just going to reset, and it was a cover 3, right? Let's get into what I like to call the middle school stuff and kind of disguising your coverages. Now, one thing I want to introduce real fast, and you may know about this already, is coaching adjustments. This was introduced, I want to say Madden 19. I'm 99% sure it was Madden 19. They introduced all of this different stuff except for flats, curl flats, and hooks. All these zone drops, this is new to this year, which I think it's a good adjustment, or a good addition, but also I think it's kind of a cop-out from what they really should have done to begin with. So, what some people may do is set their auto alignment to base. And yeah, this is kind of a good way to disguise your coverage in a sense. But don't obsess with that idea either. Again, we're just going to do random play. Baseline has its weaknesses, it has its strengths, it has its times that you should use it, your times that you shouldn't use it. And again, we'll be talking about that either later on in this live stream, or I might do another live stream and just pick up from where we left off. Again, just kind of depending upon how we end this, because we gotta go in about an hour and a half, and there's a lot to talk about. So baseline is a good way to go ahead and disguise it, because it gives them the same exact look every time. In fact, I'm gonna just let the CPU snap the ball, and you guys will kind of see what happens right there. Wow, we just played that so well. Bag. We played that so good. That's actually impressive. But you guys can see it gives the same look every single time. And this is a cover 3. I'll just show you guys. Let's go into a cover 2 with the auto alignment set to base. Okay, so this is a Tampa 2. Again, we're just going to go random play. And you can see the alignment is the exact same. Kind of why it is good, because it gives them the same look. Really quick about this, it's bad when you're trying to send a blitz, because a lot of blitzes this year do not require that you baseline. The way that I found that I like to run a lot of my blitzes just require a show blitz. I'm going to be right back. My dog's ringing the bell. He's got to go potty. So we'll be right back. Don't worry. All right, we're back. So, where was I? Oh, baseline and blitzes, that's right. A lot of blitzes that I like to run are usually just based off of show blitz. So if you're to baseline show blitz, it sometimes kind of screws up the alignment of it. Now, in previous years, if we were to be in a 3-4 playbook, last year, my run defense, and this is kind of bouncing back, required me to baseline. Okay, now, again, there's some drawbacks with that, but there's some times that you should baseline, etc. So anyways, gives you the same look every single time. And this basically now looks like a cover 4. So it can be tricky to kind of identify the difference between a cover 4 or just a simple old baseline defense. And we'll talk about that in a completely separate section. Okay, this is defense. There's no offense we'll be talking about. We are not focused on offense and not focused on how to beat cover 3, cover 4, cover 2, blah, 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 right? So that's one way that you can go ahead and disguise your defense. Yeah, it's kind of simple with the baseline, but now we're going to go ahead, get out of this, get out of auto alignment, set to base, and we're going to go back into a cover 3 sky, and we'll just do random play again. Now, the alignment is kind of funky, and I don't know why it's still set to baseline. This makes no sense, but we're going to go ahead and, okay, never mind, not double baseline. For some reason, it's just going to stay like with these guys up like that. Anyways, normally cover 3 will look kind of something like this, all right? Not with this guy being up here. I don't know why he's up there, but he's doing whatever he's doing, right? This is normally what a cover 3 would naturally look like. It's going to give you a cover 3 shell, but for some reason, it did some wonky alignment behind it. But anyways, let's talk about quick adjustments and going back into those. Here's something that we need to talk about. Cover 3 beaters, cover 2 beaters, whatever, right? Quick adjustments. In disguising your coverage, I can go ahead and actually change this up completely, right? I could do something like that. And now I'm running a cover 2 invert, and I've completely changed it all together. But oftentimes people are just going to go ahead and run it like this. They're just going to deep half their outside thirds, and again, disguise their coverage. It's essentially cover 2 invert is what it is at this point. But previous play, I don't pay attention to previous play anymore. I don't even know if it's on off. If you see it on offense or on the defensive side of the ball, I can't remember. But anyways, going against a professional Madden player or a top tier Madden player, somebody that's good at the game, will start to pick this up. And they're like, okay, he's deep halving. He's preventing my cover 3 bomb to work and beat him over the top. So there's going to be other stuff open. As with every adjustment in the game, I don't care what YouTuber you watch, what perfect quote unquote defense there is, there's always going to be some weakness to it. Regardless of what they may say and what I may say, okay, there's always some sort of weakness to the defense. In this case, when we have deep halves, you're now opening yourself to corner routes. You're opening yourselves to crossers. You're opening yourselves to post routes, etc. Just stuff really attacking the sideline. You're going to get really hit hard consistently, right? So that's a little bit about disguising coverages. I know it's kind of simplistic stuff, and not everybody probably really cares to hear about this, but I see it so often that I felt like I probably ought to go ahead and just address this as a live stream. So, again, we've disguised it. Let's just go ahead and reset the play real fast. So now this is a cover 3, and we're still giving them the same look every single time, whether we baseline or we have it set to auto alignment default. It doesn't matter. It's going to look the same every single snap. Now, talking about quick adjustments, go ahead and change this up again. Bang, this is now a cover 2 with a Mabel on one side of the field. Really, this is what a Mabel would look like, but you guys get the point. We're double flatting, and now we've changed it to cover 2. Again, this was a cover 3. This was originally a cover 3, and we came out in a cover 3 shell, and we just changed it. Again, we are disguising our coverage. We are giving them different looks every single time until we find a look that they do not like and that shuts down their offense. That is the name of the game. You adjust to their adjustments. Kind of getting on a tangent right now. My wife's bringing home beef jerky. Let's go. That's a W, boys. But anyways, it's all about disguising coverages, right? I know a lot of people get upset online. Like, you only run one defense. You only run one play. Well, yeah, it may seem... I just flipped the cover 3. Whoops. It may seem... Let's just flip it again. I don't like the cover 3 step. It may seem like, yeah, I might be running the same defense, but really, I'm not. I'm changing it up every single time and doing something like that. Now, cover 4. So, again, disguising it. And this comes with quick adjustments, getting used to it. I will say this right now about quick adjusting your outside quarters. They match. Okay, if they were to have that outside receiver, I believe that's Claypool on a slant or a drag, usually a slant, the outside quarter will match. I haven't tried this out before, but I believe if you play these sticks, that will get rid of that match behind it. And that goes for cover 4 drop, that goes for cover 4 quarters, palms. If you play the sticks, for some odd reason, that match no longer happens, even though it shouldn't be a quarter or a palm quarter that you're putting out there. But EA Sports, Clinton Oldenburg, you're in the game, right? So, anyways, we've disguised our coverage multiple different times. We've given them a cover 3 look. We've given them a cover 2 look, a cover 4 look. Holy crap. Guys, PS5 is in stock right now. QVC.com. If you need a PS5, go to QVC.com. But I'm not going to get a PS5. But anyways, we've disguised coverages. We've used quick adjustments to make them think that we're in a cover 3 when we're really in a cover 4 the entire time. Or we're in a cover 2 the entire time. Or we're putting a cover 2 invert and deep halving both our corners every time, right? It confuses your opponent. Now, I don't know if these guys have big nickel over G or not, but there was one game where I was quite literally just standing in a cover 3. Oh, they don't. Darn it. They don't have big nickel over G in this playbook. But I was coming on cover 3 sky, and I was just running deep halves the entire time. And the guy after the game messaged me saying that I was only running one play. Well, yeah, at first glance, it may look like a cover 3, and if you rely on previous play, heck yeah, it'll look like a cover 3. But I was inverting it to where I could not hit. Let me back up. I was inverting it to where I could not get bombed by cover 3 beaters because that's all the guy was trying to hit me with because he was running a custom playbook. Hate custom playbooks. I don't get why you want to run them. They don't help you. So he was trying to hit me with cover 3 bombs every single time. I inverted every single time. It was cover 2 invert every single time until he couldn't hit me over top or he one play tutty. So who's to blame there? Your opponent, right? You on offense, you're the one to blame for relying on previous play and trying to think that actually is a good tool to use it. It's not. It's actually a really bad tool. Don't use it. So I was just running something like this basically the entire time, and I was just changing these curl flats. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on as well with zone drops and some zone drops that you probably should be using and some zone drops that you got to be careful with using, etc. But anyways, I was running cover 3 like this. It was more of a cover 2 with middle third. But again, you kind of get the point. So, a little bit about quick adjustments and a little bit about disguising your coverages. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk in a little bit more detail about disguising coverages and how you can use big nickel over G in 3-3-5. Now, if you guys haven't watched that video already, I'll just go ahead and break it down for you guys right now. We're going to go ahead and get into the 4-6 playbook. Yeah, I'm actually going to turn on this other controller as well. Why does it back me? I was going to say, why does it back me all the way out? That's stupid. So dumb. So let's go ahead. Normal. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the Steelers playbook because they got some, their bunch isn't too bad. It's not like super good. I wouldn't recommend using it, but it's not like horrible by any means. Let's go 6. It's all Madden. It doesn't matter, all Madden, all pro. The game plays the same, just the thresholds are different in the way that your CPUs are going to react a lot more quickly because the thresholds are generally lower. Okay, that's really all Madden and all pro does. It's just a different thresholds. It's not that the game plays different. I guess it does, but the thresholds are a lot different. So some say it's better, some say it's worse. I think it's better to play on all Madden than an all pro. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get in a big nickel over G, introducing something new. You guys have probably seen this if you watched other YouTubers. You've seen the slot CB package. This is nothing new. This has been in the game for a couple of years now. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about why you should be using it. And we're going to go ahead and get into a simple old cover 2. And let's just go gun bunch. We're not going to talk about how you can counter gun bunch at this game. There's just a lot to talk about. And we've got a full defensive ebook that could break down gun bunch. But anyways, as we go back to our quick adjustments. Our slot corner is the guy that we're going to focus on, okay? We go ahead and tap LB. Notice what he can be put into. Middle third, outside third, left and right, deep half, left and right. I don't use this because it confuses me. It gives me a headache. And if you're used to running any kind of nickel packages, yeah, don't. Just make your life happier and don't run it without slot CB. Everything else, your safeties and your outside corners, they don't change at all. They remain the same. Why? You guys can see these guys. I need to correct myself actually right now. Again, notice I don't use this very much. Your safeties will get affected. You can go ahead and essentially do the same thing as that slot corner, deep half left and right, outside third, left and right, middle third, excuse me, mid read, man coverage, and blitz. As we were talking about earlier, don't blitz your safeties. Unless you're doing a show blitz or the safety automatically drops down into the box because that's the play design. Don't blitz your safeties. Unless you show blitz out of big nickel, B-nog, okay? Unless you show blitz out of B-nog, big nickel over G, don't blitz them. They take way too long to get there, and they're going to get picked up anyways because the O-line is psychic. So, that's a little bit about that package. Now, let's go ahead and move on to slot CB, and this is going to make it a lot more natural for you guys that like to play defense. Like myself, I'm a defensive-minded player. I love playing defense. We're going to go back into cover 2, and we're going to just go back into gun bunch, and we'll just use that Steelers cross. I may make a video about Steelers cross. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of basically like a mesh post is what it is. But we're going to go ahead and quick adjust our slot corner. Notice we've got one more button added to our quick adjustments. And we're going to take LB, and now notice what he can be put into. His adjustments have changed. He can no longer be put into any kind of deep zone. He can be put into hook zones. He can be put into flat zones, manned up, bluff blitz, QB spy blitz. Okay, some new stuff that's being introduced with that kind of package that we are using. Again, if you guys have any questions about any certain packages that maybe you want to explore, feel free to ask me in the comment section as well. And so, if we wanted to, we can go ahead and just, again, I don't know very much. And something like that, right? Kind of like, it almost looks like a cover for quarters, except this guy right here, he'd be a 3-yard cook. He would not be a mid-read. And same thing for palms. So anyways, oh yes, I forgot we couldn't get quick snap because this isn't his CPU anymore. But anyways, we quick adjusted. And also, you can go ahead and put this guy and kind of run a cover 3, cover 9, cover 6. It's not really cover 9, cover 6. This is what a cover 9 or cover 6. Whoops. As you guys can see, I don't really use a big nickel too much. I'm learning it right now. But this is kind of a cover 9, cover 6 look. It's, I don't know the difference between two otherwise, and one's flipped, one's not. But anyways, you guys can kind of see we've got different options available for them. We could also put this guy into a curl flat if we wanted to. I don't know if we can drop this guy into a hard flat on that side. Oh, we could. We can go ahead and Mabel that side. All right, learning a little bit with you guys too. Look at that. We're learning it together. But anyways, hopefully you guys kind of get the point with this. Okay, if we run slot CB package, it runs it like if it were a nickel normal, like it was a regular nickel 335. We'll be introducing nickel 335 and a super glitchy adjustment. I've already talked about that, but I know some of you have missed that video. I know some of you have missed it, okay? I know. So, again, disguising coverages. We've double flatted or mabeled that side of the field with an inside and an outside quarter when originally this was a cover 2. I just reset the play, by the way. So, again, if we wanted to do something like this, we could just, whoops. Again, I don't run it like this very often. I don't think I would ever run it like this. But again, if we were to quick adjust, we can change it from a cover 2 to a cover 9. Right? Simple. Easy. Quick adjustments. They're great. They're the best thing on earth. Get used to them. Use them. Love them. They are going to be your lover. Forget I said that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into a different play out of big nickel over a G. Okay, I want to talk about this. This is going for any corner, slot corner, any nickel package. We go down to SS Blitz 2. This is a pretty good blitz. I may talk about this in a video, how you can kind of run this blitz. You gotta be careful about it though. But we're gonna go back into Steers Cross and we're gonna introduce another quick adjustment. This quick adjustment only applies when the play call is naturally with a blitzing slot corner. And what do I mean by that? For example, this SS Blitz 2 has this slot corner right here on a blitz. Normally, if you try and force this, it will not work. You have to come out in like a simple Tampa 2 out of 335. Nickel Blitz 2 is also another example of this. But when we bluff blitz a naturally blitzing slot corner, and this includes dollar and dime, when we bluff blitz him, he gets slapped into a 3-rec hook. Okay, you guys can kind of see what happens. It's a bluff blitz. He'll sometimes come crashing down a little bit, but then just back off. And I could talk about in the 3-rec hook in a separate video. It's kind of a unique zone coverage. You really got to understand what it plays, how it's supposed to play, and what you got to be looking out for. But anyways, when we bluff blitz a blitzing slot corner, changes it into a 3-rec hook. Again, if we reset the play, you notice this is naturally blitzing. We aren't forcing that. Bluff blitz, bang, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and just audible to a cover 2. That's a cover 3 match. I'm going to audible to a cover 2 or fast, and I'm going to bluff blitz him. Notice he gets put into a vert hook because that was his natural position, was a vert hook. So if you were to run cover 3 match and you were to bluff blitz him, he's going to stay in a seam flap, right? So hopefully this kind of makes a little bit of sense. This is really important that you guys understand all of this stuff before you start moving on to blitzes. So a little bit about coverages behind it. Now we're going to move into 335 and talk about another package that you may or may not know about. I kind of doubt some of you do. So we're going to go ahead and just start off in a simple Tampa 2, and we're going to do random play. I don't really care what it is. Right here, if you go ahead and bluff blitz, again, bluff blitz the slot corner because he's naturally blitzing. This is a way I actually like to run this play quite often. It's a pretty good coverage, and you can get some decent sheds if you have abilities or if you have speedy linebackers. And with a slant outside and spread D-line, you generally can get some pretty good sheds off the edge. But this is a very good way to play coverage with this, and of course you could just adjust out of it. Go ahead and maybe Mabel one side of the field, Mabel both sides of the field, and then use this guy, right? And you're just kind of free to roam wherever you want to, right? Again, we're just disguising coverages. We're trying to keep it a little bit simple, as there's a lot that we could talk about, and I mean a lot. So, yeah, okay, basic stuff right there, right? That's nothing new. That's carrying over from big nickel over G. we're going to go ahead and introduce safety in B packages a few times to the right on the right stick, and that's going to be safety in B. This is another glitchy way that you can run this cover 2. So we'll go random play. Remember, if you recall all those adjustments from the regular old big nickel over G and how they changed between slot corner and the non-packages, just the packages, it applies here. When we go ahead and put safety at Nickelback, this slot corner right here, everything changes. Everything reverts essentially to what the stock big nickel over G packages are. So we can go ahead and put this guy into deep half left, right, outside third, left, right, and vice versa, right, with this guy as well as this guy. Okay, so it's nice. The reason I like this, and you got to be careful about this, again, I'm just, I hate clicking on the players. The reason that you can run it like this, again, you got to be careful about running this, is because you can have a cover 3 cloud, and they'll expect a Tampa 2 and try beating you with a Tampa 2. Little additional piece of information, you guys, if you want the ebook, this is included in the ebook, as well as a lot more. Because blitzing out of 335, it's pretty dang good. This guy right here, make sure he's fast, okay? And if you're going to run it like this, make sure you're shading over the top as well. Don't run this stock with one of your slowest DBs. Otherwise, you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to give you one play touchdown over the top. Again, we talked about that in a lot more detail in the members ebook. And I mean a lot more detail. We talked about your flats and what depth you should set them if you're going to be running it like this, okay? So, again, check that out. But anyways, you can change it to cover 3 cloud. So you could basically prevent one play touchdowns against cover 2. And they may be thinking, hey, he's just running a cover 2 because, again, they're relying on previous play. They're being bots. And they're getting frustrated, right? When you can just continue to run this again and again. We've disguised our coverage. Tampa 2 changed to a cover 3 cloud. Whoops. Wrong button. Come on. Quick adjustments. Respond. Yes, they are extremely slow right now. Okay, I don't know what's going on. But again, if we were to use quick adjustments and the game, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. We can change it to cover 3. Give them a different look. Again, we've disguised our coverages every single time, right? That's the name of the game. Making your opponents off guard every single time. I need double check. Okay, I've probably gotten like another 45 minutes at the most before we got to go ahead and get off. But anyways, yeah, that's again disguising coverages. Now, let's talk briefly about show blitz and when you shouldn't use it, when you should use it, and get into a little bit more complicated stuff. This is kind of getting into a little more, I would say, intermediate to advanced stuff. So as we go back from big nickel over G, I'm going to go ahead and get into blitz. I've already talked about this WS blitz. You can also use pinch blitz. I've got a video out explaining, and that's when we go on WS blitz one, explaining why you probably shouldn't use pinch blitz against certain formations and why you could against others. But we're going to go ahead and keep it simple. WS blitz. Okay. So, notice the safety automatically drops down, right? He automatically shows blitz for us. But we have to go ahead and, well, add it on by showing blitz, especially if we want to get dual heat off of both edges. If you are trying to get a blitz that has a safety naturally coming down, again, I'm using this word naturally a lot. If you have a safety that is naturally showing blitz, it is safe to go ahead and show blitz. I want to say engage 8. Please don't run that. I've tried that, just running that defense and quick adjusting the crap out of it. It's fun. But woo boy, is it a challenge. You want a challenge, you go ahead and try that out. But anyways, when a safety is naturally showing blitz, that's when you can go ahead and show blitz because this is a way that you set this blitz up, right? It requires that you do show blitz. So again, we just go ahead and slant D on out. Let's just block our running back. We're going to go ahead and blitz that guy. Take him, and we'll just swap up the man assignments, all right? And do something like this, okay? So if the block running back, engage, disengage. At that time, we got tripped up, but you guys can see right there, screaming off the edge, right? That's pretty simple blitz right there. It's really nothing super fancy, but we're going to be talking about more blitz in future videos. But again, when the safety is naturally showing blitz, that's when you can go ahead and show blitz because it's not going to mess up your alignments. Now, the nice thing about plays where the safety naturally shows blitz, and if you guys have been watching the MCS, I was talking to Manu, is it gives it the same look. And that's really the goal, the end goal of defense, is to give them as much of the same look as possible, but then trick them as well. So we could actually go ahead and put this guy into a curl flat and still give the idea, maybe user this guy instead, that we're showing blitz, right? Maybe they start saying, hey, he's sending pressure off the edge. So they go and block the running back. We blitz ourselves because blitzing yourself, you're able to control yourself. You're able to get a lot faster, engage, disengage. All of a sudden, we've got people in coverage and we've automatically got a spy, and there is nowhere for him to go. There was nothing open that play. Of course, I wasn't really paying attention, but again, we've managed to bluff the blitz. We managed to do exactly what defenses do in real life, is bluff it. Make them block more than you have in, or make them block more than you're actually sending. That's what we want to do, and that's why show blitzes are such a powerful tool that you should be running in your arsenal. Again, if we wanted to go and put this guy into deep half, we could do so. If we wanted to run the non-slot CB package, we could do so, and we could go ahead and just confuse the absolute crap out of them. Again, if they have a man beater from bunch side, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's, again, I'm still learning this, but I don't know of a man beating route on bunch side. I'm not sure about that. But anyways, we can give them the same look. If there was a man-beating route, deep half's going to be there to play it. All of a sudden, we've dropped people into coverage, and there was nobody open that play whatsoever. Again, we're just trying to confuse our opponent. So, simple little tidbit with that. Again, if we were to just show blitz because the safety is naturally showing blitz, all of a sudden say, hey, they're dropping their running back into a route. If we're going to go ahead and set the blitz up, of not being complete by it, we can go ahead and scream off the edge. And again, nothing was open. They throw it early. We're going to go ahead and use or pick that for 6, going the opposite direction. So it's all about mind games. That's really what you want to do. You want to just completely mess with your opponent. Now, I want to talk about one final thing before we go ahead and end this. Again, if you guys have any questions, please ask them right now before we end this shortly. Is cover 0. I was just playing a guy that was running a stock cover 0 the entire time, and he says I was garbage at the game. Well, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about cover 0 real fast. This is how I was blocking this blitz. Okay, I don't even know what the blitz he was running out of big nickel over G, but if we go ahead and just show blitz, right, we can go ahead and just block the tight end and we can pick it up. A problem that a lot of people get caught up on is having the idea that I consistently just need to expect them to block the running back because everybody just blocks the running back, right? Well, you'd be very wrong about that because if they block their tight end, let's go and block him, and you expect them to just, I don't know, not block the running back at first and consistently make this mistake. I hope I'm not blitzing my user. All of a sudden, you're blitzing your user, right? And bang, look at that. Get cheated. Never mind, get screwed. Play better defense. Play better offense. But anyways, most people will get the idea if they're running a cover 0, whether it be mid-blitz, pinch blitz, or whatever, that they have to be on the guy that's manned up to the running back and not respect him. Okay, if you're running a mid-blitz variety of the blitz, then you are more than likely going to be using the guy that's manned up to the running back. If you are playing a good player, we will catch on to that, and we will dot your soul up every single time. We will laser your soul up and down the field, because I know how cover 0 works. Cover 0, and we talked about this in a separate video, if you leave it natural to who is manned up at the tight end, they drop into a spy the second you block him. And that's just some additional knowledge that you need to know and just kind of comes with playing the game. But also, we're to do something like this. We block our tight end, right? We're going to try and engage with the offensive lineman. We're sending our running back on a route. Engage, disengage. And it's right there, a gain of about 10 yards off rip, right? Just really simple, quick throw to the flats. There's no flat defender. We're going to take advantage of that. And we're going to go ahead and expose you every single time for not using that one simple assignment. Now, a good player may start adjusting to that. So, again, this is kind of talking about quick adjustments. A good player may go ahead and say, hey, I notice he's going to run him on a route. Let's go ahead, man them up, take care of that route so we can go ahead and engage with the offense. Even if they block the tight end, engage, or at least try to engage, disengage, well, cross right there. Whatever, EA Sports is in the game, right? And you can see, get dotted. But anyways, it's all about adjusting to your opponent's adjustments, because in this previous game, I was literally just playing before I went live. I noticed that he was using the guy manned up to the running back every single time. So what did I do? I ran mesh post, blocked my tight end, picked up the blitz because it's just a 6-on-5. It wasn't really that good of a blitz to begin with. Motioned over the slant, and I drove down the field. No problem, drove. Like I was driving a tank. I was just plowing over his defense. No problem. So it's all about recognizing what they like to do. So if they are blocking their tight end and you're sitting in a cover 0 and for some odd reason you refuse to get out of that, then you need to start picking up on that. If they block their tight end, you need to use the guy that is blocked instead. So if we go ahead and engage, disengage, you can see right there. Now we're screaming, even though they're blocking 6, right? Simple. Disguising your defense, I don't think it's as hard as some people make it out to be. It's definitely a lot easier, but it does require some time, because if you're going against a good player that knows what they're doing, that is top 100 in a weekend league or consistently on the leaderboards for some live event, they're going to be good. They're going to expose your defense if you continue to give them the same look. So again, practice these quick adjustments, guys. That's the number one thing. Honestly, if you're struggling with defense, it's more than likely because you don't understand zones, and you probably don't have your quick adjustment as well as you should. I don't think defense is as hard as people make it out to be. This year, above all other years, above last year, hands down, it is much more of a chess match. Because if you're playing checkers in a game of chess, you lose. Guaranteed, because it's a completely different ball game. So the number one thing is, first, learn how zones work. Understand what zones are supposed to do. Why they do that. That's the biggest thing. Why do zones do what they do? Next, get your quick adjustments down. And if you can get those two things down and really just start watching games a lot, whether it be in streams on the MCS or whatever, you're going to be able to really up your defense. Now, I know not everybody has a lot of time on their hands to just go about and just play the game all day long to learn the game, right? Not everybody does. Okay, I get that. Some days I barely play the game because I'm so busy. But anyways, we've got a full defensive scheme out for members for tier 2 memberships. So go ahead and pick that up. We're going to be adding some stuff to that. Holidays is always a tricky time because there's always just so much going on. I'm going to try and get stuff added to the member section more after Thanksgiving is over. This week, there is no way on earth that is going to happen. There is going to be a video dropping this week as well. It's going to be a gameplay. It's going to be some guy on Facebook that said he was undefeated, that he went 12-0 in that group. And, well, yeah, you guys will see what happened. What happened in that game. Very interesting. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and end the live stream. Yeah. That's it. Appreciate every single one of you guys for dropping by, and that's going to take care of it. Have a great Thanksgiving, and enjoy time with family. Get off the game, man. Take a break from it. It's amazing what a little short week-long break can do. I promise you, it'll make your gameplay a lot better if you take a break from the game. It's kind of ironic how that works. But anyways, rambling. So we're going to go ahead and clock out of here. Have a good week, you guys, and see ya.